So another question is, what are the qualities in yourselves and others that make one suitable for film directing or assistant directing, producing?
Well, I tell all my and the production assistants and the second ADs, they're all part of my staff, that, I think 80% of the job is personality. The other 20% is the paperwork. You have to get the paperwork right, and obviously. But if you don't have, if you don't work on your people skills and your personality skills, you'll never, you'll never get along with any of the actors. I mean, I work with some pretty tough actors, Russell Crowe, and when we did Beautiful Mind, he's tough. He's a brilliant actor,
Right.
but he doesn't suffer fools. I mean, if you appear weak, he's not gonna. He's just not going to respect you. It's just the way Russell is, Or I've worked with Jim Cameron. He's he's very successful, with Avatar and all that. But he's a tough. He's a very tough person, So I think if you don't have the people skills and you don't have the confidence in what you're doing, then you shouldn't be doing. You should be doing something else. But especially in the movie business, you have to be confident in your abilities as to what as to whether you're good or not good. And then the other thing is that you have to establish a reputation early. I was fortunate. I had a reputation. I established my reputation early when I was a trainee, and then when I became a second, people said, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
And it wasn't so much that he was Polynesian, it was that he was good at what he did. And I think the other thing was that when I walked into an interview room, and the director saw me for the first time, he goes, "Oh," that initial, he couldn't say, "Oh, I didn't know you were someone," or "I didn't know you were Polynesian." And when my brothers and my sister and I speak on the phone, there's no visual cue, so you can't tell whether they're Polynesian or not.
Right.
So, but when you walk into the room, obviously it's all for everyone to see.
She's like, "Oh, he's not belonging."
Yeah, exactly. So it was interesting because when I was younger and I would go to my cousins and we'd start to speak, they go, "Oh, you're Samoan, right?" And you go, "Yeah, we are." And then my cousins would say, "Oh, don't worry, they all just speak English, don't worry." So, but it's as fun as it is, but it has helped us establish confidence in other people that we come to meet.
Right.
I think one of the things that I would hope for all Polynesians is that they had great interview skills, that they would be able to have a conversation with you and feel very confident. So, and I'm finding more and more Polynesians out there are becoming more successful in different areas and different fields. And I think it's an end result of the parents forcing their kids to,
Stay
stay in school, make a mark for yourself, and I think as an end result, these people can go back. My sister goes back to Samoa to help because, there's a huge, I won't say it's a crisis, but there's a huge thing with Samoans and their hearing. There's surprisingly enough that Samoans have a high audiology rate as far as lack of good hearing. So she volunteers to go down there and see them, and my brother-in-law goes down there and stays a couple of months at the hospital to do volunteer work. So I think I would wish that on every Samoan, that they had enough great skills that they could go. I mean, if a Samoan filmmaker came to me with something that was interesting and that was viable and that he was confident in, and he said, "This is the long term," and Aldric, I think it'll affect not only Samoans, but it could be out for the general public. They'll love it. I'd probably jump on the chance, especially if he was able to talk me into convincing me that it was pretty good.
You hear that? All you future filmmakers out there that are Pacific Islanders, invite is open.
I'm very curious to see these.